So one thing I want to say about Straticity real quick before we load into it. So I'm going to be doing a trick right here where I will skip a halo jump. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be holding L2 and down and skipping this entire cutscene. Or skipping the guide right here. So I'm going to spawn on the ground holding L2. And then boom, we're right where the ship would be if we had a ship right now. But normally you're supposed to spawn way up in the sky right now. And we just skip it by holding L2 and then walking backwards. And then I normally like hold backwards and then go forward and then back and then forward and back. It really doesn't matter as long as you're like far enough back by the time the cutscene starts. The only reason I go forward and back a bunch is that when I skip the cutscene, I can just go immediately and then start onto the trick. So I'm really rusty on movement. So what we're going to be doing right here is we're going to be...
Whoa there. Pause, Lombax. You're forgetting the most important thing about the start of this planet. So I've stopped the gameplay on this screen just so I can point out. Do you see that little crate that has a question mark on it? That has a ×2 multiplier crate for bolts, and is severely needed for the beginning part of the game, and because you'll see me struggling through the next couple planets trying to gather the bolts to get enough for the tutorial. So do not forget to hit this crate as you're making this first sequence that I'm doing right now. That being said, take it away.
Heading towards our next weapon, which is the Shockravager. So it takes 5 shots to kill this shock turret, and we can pick up this Shockravager right next to him. Right here, we're gonna kill some enemies. Preferably, I try to kill all of them, but experience is a very fickle thing in this game, and I've just been doing a terrible job at managing it for the playthrough. So normally you want to hold this level upgrade for later. It'll come back a lot more useful if you follow like a run in terms of like execution throughout the whole thing. I'm just here to show you guys how to do the tricks and whatnot. So right here, you're gonna, from the device vendor, buy 3 group johns, back out, and there are 2 ammo crates that are supposed to be right here. They're not right here because I destroyed the boxes with my health upgrade, so that's kind of suckish. But actually there's 3 ammo crates here, but both of them give me, I don't know, I got full ammo somehow. I must be blind. Anyway, you're gonna destroy these ammo crates with a Hyperstrike, or you can chop down the boxes one by one, and in hopes of destroying the boxes at different times. What you want to get is a Shockravager ammo, so you're gonna be at full ammo by the time you're attempting this next trick. So there's a wall bounce that you can get right off of this lantern that I'm eyeing up right now. And we're gonna do a new trick that is basically whip jumping, as we call it. And we're gonna be aiming to, based on the variant, either get up here or get launched down below with an incredible amount of speed. So with my other controller, we're going to be holding forward, jump, kind of let go, and then come back to jump again, and have the whip out by the time our jump goes through. So execution wise, what it's going to look like is something like this. Well, and you're just going to hold X, hold nothing on your right stick, and just hit R1. Then you're going to land up here. So our next gold bolt is actually in this building right here. So you're just going to keep the whip out, long jump to this center platform right here, just land on it. Then you're going to jump into it, Hyperstrike, make sure it takes you to the ground a lot faster. And then we have the much harder of the two wall bounces. This one is what I call Wingless, because this will take you to the end of the level, and we're going to be skipping the Robo Wings section of this game. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to rotate my stick around, kind of like a 360, except we're not going to do a full rotation. What we're going to do is I'm going to like jump out and then like try to get a wall bounce off this curved surface that I'm standing on. So we're going to like jump away and then try to bounce off of this surface right here. And then we're going to get another wall bounce that's going to take us all the way up to the top of the building. So I'm going to save one ammo right here so that we can use it for a little bit later. But what I'm about to do is a Hyperstrike proxy. Basically, when you're in a semi-solid ground or above a semi-solid ground that's like half Ratchet, half like his feet are no longer visible, like he's in the ground. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold him through the direction you're going. I'm just gonna do forward on the example. I'm gonna hold forward, hit Hyperstrike, and then hold into the direction that he is like hyperstriking into. Then we're gonna hold X out of it. So what it's gonna look like is it's gonna look like he's trying to hyperstrike into the semi-solid ground, and it's just gonna shoot us forward, and it's gonna look pretty cool. So give me just a second. The way I line this up is there's a line right there, and I go straight for this little hexagon. Now this is very dangerous if you don't know exactly where to glide. But what I really did is I held forward, and as soon as I felt like I had the right height, I pressed X. And that activated my gliding almost immediately. There's two other instances of Hyperstrike proxies in the game at the moment. One of which we will see much later, but the other you won't see unless you look at a 100% run of the game. So after collecting the gold bolt, they'll spawn you right here. So you're gonna want to long jump, walk up to the edge, have your whip out, long jump, and then at the very end of your glide whip, you will climb onto the edge right there. If you somehow, by any means of sorcery, have another whip, you can long jump to this ladder and whip, and you'll climb up onto the second rung, and it'll only take one or two jumps to get up on top of the ledge I'm on right now. You'll also see that I long jump into this pipe, but I don't long jump straight forward because it'll just bonk. So instead of just long jumping straight forward, I go to the edge of pipe and then I long jump, and for some reason it doesn't bunk you on the edge as it would if you were just going straight. So right here what we're going to do is we're going to kill all the enemies with our whip so it gets a little bit of XP, and it's about right here where you get your first weapon upgrade. So I'm going to kill this drone with my whip, and I'm going to kill the last two with bombs because it's a little bit faster.